Damn good deputy, and he loved his job. He took it very serious, and he's out there today doing his job. And look what happened to him. A coward coming through our county on I-75 took his life.
Good evening to you. Tragedy tonight in Scott County. A sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty.
Deputy Caleb Conley was shot in the line of duty this afternoon during a traffic stop along I-75, and then he died shortly after that at UK Hospital. He was just 35 years old. The shooting happened at a rest stop at the 127 exit southbound, and the suspect then took off.
Later, Lexington police responded to a second scene involving a shooting. Here's a map of where both scenes were this afternoon, only miles from each other. However, investigators have yet tonight to connect the two. We have live breaking news team coverage with what we know so far. We begin tonight with WKYT's Kelsey Soto in Scott County, where that shooting took place. Kelsey, a very tough night for the Scott County Sheriff's Office and really that entire community.
Good evening to you, and the scene has just cleared here tonight, but we can tell you police lights shone bright along the interstate this evening as law enforcement mourns the loss of one of their own. 35-year-old Caleb Conley was a 4-year veteran with the Scott County Sheriff's Department and also an Army veteran, a son, a husband, a loving father to small children, and a devoted public servant whose life ended here tonight right behind me. We heard earlier today from Sheriff Tony Hampton, who tells us he got a call just before 5 o'clock this evening that his officer had been shot during a traffic stop along I-75 South near exit 127, and then the suspect had fled. The sheriff had to pull over on the side of the road to take that call he never wanted to get. Deputy Conley was rushed and escorted with the help of several other agencies to UK Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The decorated deputy had earned several awards and accolades over the course of his career with the Scott County Sheriff's Office. You might remember last week we just told you about several of our fallen Kentucky law enforcement officers who had been honored in the nation's capital during National Police Week. This sheriff must now lead a department suffering the same unimaginable loss and unspeakable grief.
My message would be just be as careful and diligent as you can in doing your duties. Because that one traffic stop can be the last, and we don't want to see this ever happen again.
Tells us this is an unspeakable grief and a tragedy here tonight. He says that he calls that suspect a coward, and he wants to focus his attention on Deputy Conley. He said it is a darn shame he lost his life here tonight because he loved his job and he was very, very good at it. Now, we have heard from them in a social media post this evening that their office will understandably be closed tomorrow, and they're asking for the public community support in the days, coming weeks, months ahead as they work to navigate this loss. And they will be posting there any updates and information for community to offer up their support and ways to help. For now, live in Georgetown, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Kelsey, thank you. Deputy Caleb Conley was a decorated deputy. He was sworn into the sheriff's office in July of 2019. Deputy Conley would go on to receive several awards. He received 4 in the last 2 years for his work, including arrested impaired drivers and giving CPR to 2 juveniles 1 week apart. One day after receiving one of those awards in 2021, we found a Facebook post tonight from Deputy Conley where he wrote about how much he loved his job. He said, quote, "I've always said if I could help one person or touch one life or make one person smile a day, that my day is made. I do this because I love it. I truly enjoy serving the community I serve and the people in it," end quote. He said that he went on to say that he works with top-notch people and thanked Sheriff Hampton for allowing him to be a part of the office.
Now, that was the solemn scene earlier tonight as officers from all around the region unified for a procession taking Deputy Conley's body from UK Chandler Hospital in Lexington to Frankfort. Officers rushed to the hospital immediately after hearing that Conley was shot and had been taken there.